Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And today, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, we're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We are back. Batwoman is back. They just dropped a new episode a couple of days ago. I think it was a couple of days ago. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry I'm a little late with this episode. I was a little bit busy, but I finally got around to watching the episode. And you know what? I shouldn't have. I seriously shouldn't have watched it because, oh my god, this was bad. This was bad. I still haven't decided on whether or not it was worse than the two episodes that came before it. But my god, was this bad? Oh, I don't even know where to begin with this episode. Okay. Before I get into the things that I do want to talk about, let me just get this out of the way. I'm not going to talk about the acting. I'm not going to talk about the editing. I'm not going to talk about the directing. I'm not going to talk about the sound design. I'm not going to talk about any of that because you already know the show by now. So I don't even need to tell you that it's shit. It's shit. It's all shit. It's never going to be good. These people don't care about making a good show with good acting, good sound design, good production, good directing, good writing. And I'll get to the writing. Oh my god, the writing. There's nothing good about this show. Literally nothing good about the show. Every single episode is the same. The same hokey writing, the same terrible directing, the same terrible sound design, the same terrible editing, the same terrible CG. It's just it sucks. This show sucks on every level. Well, not just from a writing perspective, but even from a technical perspective. This show is just bad. It's terrible, and I still can't believe the CW actually renewed it for a second season, especially with the fucking terrible ratings. Oh god. Anyway, let's get into the quote-unquote plot of the episode. Now, there are four things that I want to talk about. And it mainly has to do with the four plots, or the four things that are technically happening in this episode. There's one plot that involves Kate, Sophie, Mary, Alice, and then there's Beth from the other universe. There's another plot that involves Jacob. I actually wrote Jason in my notes. I'm sorry about that. His name's Jacob. He's the character Doug Ray Scott plays. There's a whole plot with Jacob in prison. I'll get to that. There's this thing with Alice and her cure, and again, this technically involves it's included in the plot for the Kate, Mary, Sophie, Beth, and Alice plot that involves. And then there's a plot with Mouse, and boy, am I want to save what happens with Mouse for the last because that is an extra level of dumb. Just wait for it. First, I want to talk about Jacob in prison because that's sort of the least interesting part of this episode. Or I guess I should say it was the least terrible. So basically what ends up happening is that Jacob is confronted by a guy who used to work for the Crows, and he basically ended up turning on Jacob and the Crows and ended up joining Alice. You know, that guy. The guy that Alice just completely dished. And according to her, she cares so much about him, and yet here she is in this episode, just like every other episode, just doesn't even acknowledge his existence. So he takes out a knife, and this is what I mean by bad. This whole scene, the way it was directed was terrible. You can clearly when he takes out a shiv, he's about to shank him. He takes out a shiv, and from the way they're directing it, Jacob could clearly see it. He can clearly see it. He takes out the shiv, and for some reason he just sits there and lets himself get stabbed. Because of course he is. I mean, it's not like he's a trained police officer who can fight, who can actually defend himself. No. We have to make him look dumb. We have to make characters carry the idiot ball because other than that, we have no way of actually moving the plot forward. We have to create tension. So he gets shanked, and somehow he was shanked like damn near his where his kidneys are, and yet somehow he's still standing. and he's actually fighting. And this made no fucking sense. Anyway, he's just about to kill him when another prisoner comes in, knocks him out, and he didn't knock him out completely. Like he strangled him for a little bit, and then he threw him on the floor, not enough to kill him. And according to him, his reason why is that Jacob has a trial hearing that's close, which is supposed to present the evidence to prove that he didn't do it, even though there's plenty of evidence to prove it. Fingerprints, security cameras, credit cards, which show you where you were by the time where you were and at what time you bought the whatever it is you purchased with your card. But apparently, then none of that's enough. No, they needed proof from the surgeon they're trying to get him to work with them to prove that it is possible to surgically recreate somebody else's face and then attach it to yours. Oh my god, this is stupid. Which and I'll come back to him afterwards. So anyway, he leaves him there and he says, "Oh well, now you owe me a favor." No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. The second he gets out of there, he's gonna forget all about you. Why the hell would he help you? I mean, this is whatever. Let's move on. If you haven't figured out that it was bad from that, I don't know what to do. Anyway, let's move on. So that's Jacob in prison. Let's get to the two main plots of the. Well, actually, you know what? Scratch that. I'm gonna talk about Mouse and what's going on with him, because I want to say, at second thought, I want to say what happens with Kate and the Bethses afterwards for last, because boy, do I have a lot to say about that. Anyway, let's get to Mouse. So Mouse is in a hospital, right? After he gets captured in the previous episode. Beth visits him in prison, and the way she does it, or no, not Beth, Alice. The way she visits him is dumb. She kills a security guard and steals his uniform. So that's another person dead because Kate refuses to catch her. Because Kate refuses to arrest her. Now, I know what some people might say. She arrested her in episode 11. She got away in episode 12. However, none of that would have needed to happen if Kate just arrested her in the first place. If they had just sent her to Gotham PD and put her in jail, instead for some reason they sent her over to the... You know what? I'm not going to get back into this because... Oh my god, that's dumb. Anyway, another person dead because Kate's a moron. So fuck you, Kate. She steals the prison guard's uniform. Visits Mouse, excuse me, visits Mouse in his hospital room. And again, the fact that she was able to get in with just the prison uniform on, the uniform of the prison guard, nothing is covering her face. The guard that she slipped by can clearly see her, but no, just let her go. Let her go on in. And when she visits Mouse, he is understandably confused. Like, he doesn't know whether or not this is the real Alice or if this is the alternate universe Beth. He tests her by giving her that stupid riddle, and she actually answers it. And after he says that Kate tried to trick her by bringing someone else who looks exactly like her, who has her same voice, her same everything, and she gets curious and wants to... no pun intended. She gets curious and wants to know, okay, what's going on? So she tells him, instead of letting him go, instead of taking the opportunity to let him go right then and there, she says, change of plans. I'm going to go and visit Kate. Oh my God. And just leaves him there. And he's somehow okay with it. And it's so dumb. Anyway, moving on. We'll get back to Beth. Alice. We'll get back to Alice. So Mouse is still in his hospital room. Remember the surgeon that I said that Jacob and Sophie were trying to get him to testify, or according to him, to sign an affidavit that proves that yes, this is possible. He gets into Mouse's hospital room. Why he was even allowed in there, I don't know. At least not without someone. I mean, this is a proven dangerous individual. Why would you allow any civilian anywhere near him a proper without a proper guard or proper protection? I mean, it's so goddamn dumb. Anyway, while he's in there, he is trying to ask Mouse some questions, and Mouse tells him, "Look, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anyone." And he starts talking weird. Now, the second he did that, I instantly figured out what was going on here. He starts talking to Mouse like he knows him. And he says things like, "Oh, well, look at you. You're all grown up. Look at you. You're even... Like, I could have been so proud of you. Instead, you betrayed me." And you already know where this is going. He takes off... a mask, and it's revealed to be the father. And you'll find out why this pissed me off so much in a little bit. So he's in there. He takes off the mask. He takes out a syringe from his bag, injects it into his son's neck, and tells him, "This is something that'll make you more compliant, or it'll convince you to tell the truth." And somehow he was able to kidnap him. He was able to take him out of the hospital and take him somewhere else, where we don't know, somewhere in an abandoned warehouse. And again, you'll find out why this is so dumb. Here's why. Earlier in the episode, we were told by Jacob that we have Mouse in a hospital under 24-hour surveillance. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, they told this to the surgeon who turned out to be Mouse's father. Maybe he took out the security system. My only question would be, first of all, A, how the fuck would he know where it is? And B, how was he able to do all of this? Oh my God. So a few things could have happened here. Either A, which is the most obvious one, the writers are dumb and they completely forgot about this. And instead they brought Mouse in and they had him do the reveal, and they expected us to go, "Oh my God, oh, I can't believe it now, ah." I am trying my best to keep myself calm. I am trying my best to make sure that my arguments are more coherent and less blood boiling. Because, oh my God, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. Why? If there is no way he could have known where the security system was so he can turn off the camera, and even if he did, the Crows would later find out that someone tampered with the security system, and the last person to go in there was this doctor, so they will know something's up. And it's just, I don't know, this is dumb. This is never gonna come back up again because the writers don't care. Nobody working on this show cares. No one. My God, this is bad. So and again, I'm gonna leave it here because what happens with the doctor or with Mouse's father afterwards, you just wait to see what happens. I'll come back to him. But for now, let's go over to the main plot of this episode. So we found out in episode 11 that both Alice and Beth, because they're the same person. Now look, you already had to guess what was going on, because there are two of the same people within the same universe, the universe is starting to reject them and blah, 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 all that stuff. You already know. So anyway, they figure out, I don't know how, but Mary, just by looking at Beth's blood, was able to theorize or was able to conclude that Beth is and possibly Alice are suffering from cellular degeneration because apparently that's a thing. I don't. Oh my god. Okay, so according to them, to both of these people, since they're both exactly the same person, except not really because Beth is from a different universe, and they confirmed that people from different universes are, even though it's the same person, on some level they are different because they are from a different universe. So it shouldn't matter if they're if two people who happen to share the same name, the same history, and the same anatomy. It shouldn't matter because on a molecular level they are different. According to the CW's explanation of how the multiverse works, and I'm guessing this is based on actual multiverse theory, that apparently each version of Earth is vibrating at a different frequency, right? And that's why they can't see each other. So if that is the case, then shouldn't someone who's from a different universe who happens to visit this universe, shouldn't they technically be moving at... Wouldn't that apply to them too? Like, it shouldn't change anything, but you know what, whatever. They're just going to completely ignore their own continuity, sure. Anyway, according to them, they're both dying. And Mary somehow concludes. Mary goes over to her office, which she's still allowed to keep somehow. And she is visited by Alice. Alice, after she left Mouse, or actually, sorry, before any of this, Alice heads on over to Kate's office, which she stole from Bruce. Oh god, we're getting into the really stupid part of this episode. Alice is just able to walk in there again, and according to her, she just killed the security guard. And again, for some reason, Kate isn't arresting her. She just stands there and lets it happen. So she's standing there, and she finds out about everything, that Beth is from a different universe, which again she just accepts for some reason. She accepts that she's from a different universe, and she finds out that, in her universe, Kate actually got him back into the car and got her out, and she didn't go through everything that Alice did, and that makes her pissed and whatever. And somehow she finds out, and for some reason, why the hell would they even tell her this? They tell her that because there are two of you, like two of you can't exist, and according to her, like she comes to the logical conclusion she is going to kill the other Beth so she can live. And oh god, this is dumb. Anyway, Kate stops her. Alice leaves, and for some reason, instead of Kate running after her, Luke is telling her, "No, Kate, Beth needs you. She already has you. Kate, go after her, you moron." She's already being looked after by Luke. She has people. She's fine. Go catch the fucking serial killer, you fucking moron. Anyway, she doesn't, because she's a retard. So Kate's there and she's watching over Beth. Alice goes over to Mary's her stupid illegal medical office, and Alice, when she's there, she tells her, "Hey, remember that cure I gave you for the poison that I put in your system? Yeah, it turns out that was a magical bullshit cure for everything. Yeah, that thing that I gave you can cure literally everything." So according to her, and now apparently it's in her blood. Which, how the fuck that even works, I don't know. That's not how medicine works. You fucking morons. According to her, all she needs is a little bit of Mary's blood, and she just needs to inject it into herself, and the cure would be in her now. Again, this is fucking retarded. Who wrote this? This is dumb. It's more of the stupid magic blood. We got this in Into Darkness. We had that in Heroes. And now we even have it in this. This is so goddamn dumb. I never want to see the stupid magic blood cure ever again. Oh my god, this is stupid. Who? Seriously, whoever wrote this needs to be fired. They need to be fired. Because they suck if they actually thought this was good, if they thought this was good writing. Okay, moving on. So anyway, Alice tries to take the blood and she gets knocked out by Mary somehow. The same person who can knock out a Batwoman, who can take on men who are twice her size. Mary can beat her in a fight. Sure, why not? Anyway, she takes the blood and she gives it to Kate. But before any of this, when she takes the blood, Alice takes a phone which was just there. Mary didn't take it away from her for some fucking reason, I don't know. She takes the phone, she calls in the Crows, which how they weren't able to recognize it was her just by her voice alone is insanely stupid. She tells the Crows where Alice is, I guess because she has her face and her voice, so I guess they would have believed it was her. Anyway, they are about to storm the Wayne Enterprises and get into her. Which, by the way, how they knew it was in. I guess Alice told her. And this was, oh my god, this is just more evidence of the absolutely stupid writing. So Kate sees all the police here, and Luke asks her what the hell's going on, and she says Alice called the Crows in order to get you killed. I'm sorry. How do you know this? How do you know this? Like, how do you know specifically Alice called them? How the hell do you know this? She now let me be clear. She doesn't say Alice must have tipped them off or something. No. She says specifically, like she was actually there when it happened. Alice called the Crows so they can kill you. Again, how she knows this, I don't know. Oh my god. So she takes Beth and hides her in the Batcave. Which, by the way, why didn't she do that in the beginning? I don't know. I guess because she was so obsessed with keeping her identity as Batwoman. Which, by the way, why she would even be interested in doing that now? I mean, she was never afraid of revealing who she was before. I mean, she basically outed herself as a lesbian, as Batwoman, which was dumb. Just absolutely dumb. Now people are closer to finding out who you are than before. Fuck you, Kate. She's fucking dumb. Stupid. She's one of the worst heroes I've ever seen. Anyway, she hides Beth in the Batcave. Beth finds out that finds out that Kate is Batwoman, and she says that, oh well, you probably want to save people because you weren't able to save me and Mom in that car. No, Beth. No. She doesn't want to save people because she wants to save people. She wants to be a hero because she wants recognition. That's why she's doing this. That's why she stole an already established hero's his suit. She stole his tech. She stole everything from him. Not because she wants to be a hero. She does this just because she wants recognition. Fuck you for trying to think that we're absolutely dumb CW writers. Fuck you. Anyway, she tells Luke, or she gets called by Mary and tells her that I'm outside. Which, by the way, whatever. There should be crows everywhere around the building, but sure. Anyway, Kate manages to sneak out, meets Mary, and tells her, "Look, all you have to do is inject this into Beth, and she'll be fine for at least a little bit, or at least long enough for Alice to die, and Beth to live." Anyway, she is now contemplating because if she gives it to Beth, then she won't have enough to give to Alice. That means Alice will die, her sister will die. But you know what? That's fine. Let her die, because I already have a spare. Relax, you can go. You can go. I already have a spare. Fuck off. You can die. And she gives it to Beth. Then, I don't know how, but she finds out that Alice, she was able to know that Alice was handcuffed in Mary's illegal sex trafficking building, her illegal sex trafficking building, and she goes over to Beth, and we get some of the, like I said, yeah, this shouldn't be a surprise, but we get some of the worst acting I've ever seen. Alice says, "I knew you would come for me. I knew you would give me the cure and everything." And Beth says, Kate says, "I came to say goodbye." And she says, "Oh my God, you're letting me die?" And what? Yeah, no fucking shit. Oh my God. Which, by the way, Batman would have never done this. Batman would never do this. Batman would never just stand by and let someone die. Batman would never do this. Like, if he genuinely believed that he had a chance to save someone, he would take it. As depraved as they are. I mean, we're talking about somebody who, like, so many people are telling him, "Look, if you just killed the Joker, do you know how many people you would have saved?" But he says, "No, because I'm not going to do that. Because he's a fucking hero. He's not a killer." Snyder. Sorry, that was beside the point. Anyway, we get some of the absolute worst acting I've ever seen. They're trying to play this up for emotions. They're like, oh my gosh, she's dead. Kate is losing her sister. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't give a shit about any of these people. Nobody gives a shit about these two. Anyway, Beth is telling her, or Alice is telling her, will you stay with me and whatever? And yeah, whatever, fine. Anyway, oh my God. So, anyway, Luke takes Beth. He sneaks her out of the Batcave on a bike, and we get something that was so. Like, I was actually stunned at how bad this was. So they're at the hospital parking lot. Which, by the way, why the hell would you park right outside? First of all, why the fuck did you go all the way outside a hospital? Why? Who knows? And Sophie's there. How she found out that they were there, I don't know. She just does. She just does. She just knows they were there. She just knows Kate was there. She just knew Luke was there. Anyway, she has a sniper rifle. She's about to shoot Alice, but at the last minute changes her mind because she's a black woman, and we can't have black women be doing something that was morally questionable, even though it was possibly the right thing to do. Granted, she didn't know that wasn't she wasn't Alice. Although, again, I don't know why Kate didn't tell her. I mean, every person she's told about the whole multiverse thing, everybody just believes out of nothing. So I don't know why Sophie's the exception. I mean, if she knew, then she wouldn't have gone after this Beth. But no, this isn't even the dumbest part. Just wait until we get to the actual dumb part. And here it is. You get this? Beth gets shot. Someone shoots Beth. And do you want to take a guess at who it is? Seriously, I'll give you like 10 seconds. See if you can guess who it is. Did you guess who it is? Did you get? Well, guess what? It's Mouse's father. It's Daddy Dearest. Somehow he was there, on the roof. Somehow he knew about them. Which how did he know about this? How this makes no sense. And anyway, so Beth dies, which means Alice gets to live. And she is pissed at Kate, and why wouldn't she be? She takes, oh my god, she takes a tray, she takes a tray that was on the ground, which wasn't there before. Seriously, go back and watch some of the scenes with Alice in that when she was cuffed to that bed. There is no tray there. Now it's just there all of a sudden. She takes it and she uses it to smack Kate in the head and knocking her out. And that's where the episode ends. Fuck this show. Fuck the CW. Fuck every single person working on this. Except the crew members. They're just working with what they're given. Fuck this show. Fuck this show. Fuck this show. I cannot say this enough. Fuck this show. Fuck these characters. Fuck the writers. Fuck everyone. Just fuck this show. Oh my god, this was terrible. This was so goddamn bad. Oh, okay, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna end this here. For my own sanity, I have to stop this. And oh god, my throat hurts. I'm gonna end right here. I'm gonna go get some water. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I have deterred you from checking this episode out. I know that there are some episodes of television that are known to be so bad that you have to see it to believe it. No, seriously, save yourself the pain. Save yourself the pain and do not watch this show. Just ignore this show. Let me suffer so you don't have to. Let any of us who review this show on YouTube, let us suffer so you don't have to. Okay? Trust me, we are saving you from this. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this episode. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And you know what? If you really want us to go the extra mile to supporting me, there's a link down below in the description box. Follow it if you want to go the extra mile when it comes to supporting my channel and what I do here. And again, I can't thank you guys enough. And to all of the people who subscribe to my channel, again, I want to especially thank you all so much for supporting me. You have no idea how much it means to me. That is all I have to say. And pray for me when it comes to the next episode. All right, bye.